Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna go through the M4A1 and the M4A4 as I've done once in the past already. We're gonna go through the exact kind of changes that has happened to the weapons, and now thus then, which weapons will be more effective and efficient to use depending on time and place, aside or rather despite what kind of value, money value that these weapons require. Because now both of them are worth 3,100 bucks in the game. Now it's essentially only depend on what and or how and or where you're going to play and what interactions that you are expecting to you know, face against the opponents, rather than anything else, which is kind of interesting because it kind of sets a style of where a weapon should be played at, and thus it kind of, while it does make things a little bit more predictable and maybe a little bit more exploitable in the long run, it makes the game a little bit more tactical too. As long as this weapon at least though get to keep its little armor damage value, comparing it to the A4 and how they're pretty much the same. So basic traits with these weapons: the AK and the M4, they have probably of the main assault rifles the worst accuracy, in which the A1 have the best accuracy, which is why it's my favorite. It rewards people that actually have decent aim and hit good or decent shots, which is kind of cool. Now, the spray of this weapon used to be pretty good in the past. Right now, technically speaking, that is mainly the biggest nerf of this weapon, in which yeah, the spray is just slower, the rate of fire of the weapon's bullets is slower, and thus the total max kind of damage per second has declined. That is actually a big no-no factor for me if I really want to use this weapon. It's not as effective as it used to be anymore, even though, again, if you compare that spray directly to the A4 bullets, in which I shot approximately 20 right there, maybe 23. As you can see, like the spray's total height, and thus the density of the spray, even though again it seemed to be a little bit fatter, and when I shoot the weapon, there's something about the spray that just does not seem that consistent as it used to be. Yeah, it's still a pretty good choice in terms of being effective long range at least, which is kind of cool thing. So another thing right here, let's just move and shoot a little bit. As you can see right here, this is kind of the density level that we are working with in terms of when bullets is being fired, and thus how effective we are up close with that kind of weapon. In which, with the A4 right here, that kind of bullet count is a little bit higher if you go with the A4. Now, the interesting thing there is that this weapon then becomes way more lethal up close, which is already what it kind of had in terms of traits. I mean, it had way more bullets up close, and thus you could be able to, you know, fire against more enemies, and then you can, you know, just turn around. It doesn't really matter because you have extra bullets to always fire. Now, the annoying thing though is that this weapon right here is way weaker long range, but if this A1 right here is ever now going to get screwed with, like let's say that little thing, that little change with how this weapon interacted with armor actually was a kind of a mistake that the developers just forgot to do properly in the configs deeper into the levels. I do believe that they actually changed a lot of the files that were supposed to change the armor penetration value of this weapon, in which in the end of the day, if you're then not shooting armor targets, it dictates exactly how much damage you do because of that value, rather than the max damage, which is the same for both weapons. Even though, again, on top of that, the A4 drop off way faster in terms of max damage. Aside from all of those factors, if this weapon then gets a way lower kind of damage interaction value for armor, I'm not going to use this weapon too much anymore. But then again, that is because I like to play pretty accurate but effective. If I then can rely way more on my trusty little M4 right here, I'll be personally way better set because of how much more flexibility I get in the game, rather than having just a little bit of accuracy that is just way too inconsistent because of its rate of fire. But then again, that is just my opinion, and it's based around my playstyle. If you people have a different playstyle, feel free to adapt yourself towards that playstyle, and hopefully you'll be able to play pretty well and slaughter enemies just like you did in the past. Even though, again, there's still hopefully maybe a little bit patch to be done here to see how things will pan out at. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you found a little bit more insight rather than on what other people have delivered. If you want to support the channel, you can find out how in the description below. Thanks to all of you Patreons. You are absolutely awesome, even though all of you are really. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and yeah, don't get beastified when you play, people.